Hi students, welcome to this course, PLC Automation, an introduction to programmable large controller. I am Professor Yao. Shift register functions. The keywords: shift right, rotate right, multiple shift right, multiple shift left, shift left, rotate left. The shift register functions enable the operator to move digital bits within or through the PLC registers. This is accomplished by through shift right, shift left, rotate, rotate right, rotate left, multiple shift right, multiple shift left. The shift right function. The keywords: the functional block, bottom input, middle input, top input, the final pattern, starting register. The shift right function. Figure 18.9 shows the operation of a shift right function. This explanation uses only one register. There are normally three inputs to the functional block. The bottom input is normally the enabling input, as in previous PLC function. The picture shows shifter right function, one register program. The middle input determines where a 1 or 0 is inserted into a register when shifting. And when the top input is activated, the register shifts all bits one position to right, and a new bit is added on the left. Whether the bit in the bracketed register on the left becomes 1 or 0 depends on whether the middle input was on or off. When the shift takes place, if the middle data line is on, a 1 is entered, and for off, a 0. The pattern in figure 18.10 illustrates how to use a shift register to produce the original values in holding register 207 shown in figure 18.1. A shift is made 16 times. This illustration starts with all zeros in the register. The register might have had any other pattern. It would not affect the final pattern, since all previous bits, 1s or 0s, are pushed out after 16 bits. This picture shows the operation of the shift right function. The shift right functions. Another important part of this shift right function is that the coil or output status may follow the status of bit on the right. A 1 produces an output on, and a 0 results in output off. If output status does not follow the bit leaving, you may bit pick the last bit of the shift register. The bits are normally lost when they are pushed off to the right. However, the bit status can be saved and reused in the rotate function, which will be discussed shortly. Now suppose that we need to control 45 machines or functions. 16 bits are not enough to control the process. We need to shift through the 3 registers to cover the 45 outputs by placing the number 3 in the functional block that asks for the number of registers. If we put the holding register 207 in as the starting register, we shift through holding register 207, holding register 208, and holding register 209. Multiple register shift is shown in figure 18.11. This picture shows shift right register, multiple register. The shift left function, the keywords, is inserted on the right, the last bit on the left. The shift left function. Shift left function operates exactly like shift right, except that the bit status is inserted on the right. The bit shift to the left and leave on the left. The output coil status normally then follow the status of the last bit on the left. The register rotate function, the keywords, register rotate function. The pattern movement, automatically repetitive, rotate right, rotate left. Full register reentry or partially register reentry. Suppose you wish to save the bit sequence status that leaves and is lost when using shift register. You also may want to repeat a pattern again and again. This may be accomplished by using the register rotate function, which is found in some but not all PLCs. Its operation is shown in figure 18.12. These examples use the same pattern as the 45 function in figure 18.11. Now the pattern movement is repeated again and again as the result of the automatic reentry system. For the previous shift register, the pattern would have to be re-entered manually or by move for each time through. The rotate functions are automatically repetitive. This picture shows the register rotate function. Rotate function are rotate right, RR, or rotate left, RL. Rotate system can be of two other general types: full register reentry or partial register reentry. The full register system's reentry point can only be at the beginning of a register. With 16-bit register, you must shift through 32, 48, 64, and other multiples of 16 bits. With the partial reentry type, you may choose the exact number of bits needed. For example, you need only 27 bits. You could re-enter the initial register at the 27 minus 16 point, which is the 11th bit. The point would be specified by entering 27 bits into the block function. The multiple shift function. The keywords: shift right and shift left function. Multiple shift right, MSR, and the multiple shift left, MSL. A typical multiple shift register: the number of shift steps, and so on. The multiple shift function. Some advanced function PLC have shift right and shift left functions that shift more than one bit at a time. This might be labeled multiple shift right, MSR, and multiple shift left, MSL, or M-bit right and M-bit left. Figure 18.13 shows a typical multiple shift register. The MSR or MSL functions need one more pieces of input information than the SR and the SL functions. A specification of this number of shifts to be met at time n. This picture shows typical multiple shift right function. The program, and this is the pattern of holding register 81. For example, assume that the number of shift steps n is set at 3. For an MSR function, it will put in 3 ones or their zeros, depending on whether the serial in switch is closed or open, respectively. The figure 18.14 gives a summary of the operation of 8 types of shift register discussed in this chapter. For two registers, holding register 207 and holding register 208, the total bit numbers can go from 1 through 32. For the 3 register, it would be 1 through 48, and so on. The number system can also be 1 through 16 for each register only. This picture shows the shift register operation summary. Shift left, shift right, rotating left, full, rotating right, full, rotate left, partial, rotate right, partial, multiple shift left, multiple bit shift right. Homework. Handwriting all keywords and submitting them to course Facebook. Just do the online quiz and see you next time.